today's market update, we want to zero in on some numbers, but we're also going to get into some population growth and some property types that are kind of in the news right now. But you can see by the numbers that I've circled here, total sales are down. They've been down for 18 months now, month over month. But one thing that we're seeing is the average price, especially for April. April's two-thirds of the way over, and it's up 3.3%. That's a massive gain compared to what we've been seeing the last few months. You can see the circle before that, March of 2026 over 2025 is only up 0.29%. So it was basically flat. This is what we see as positive. We're finally starting to see the spring market start to happen. We don't really have enough, really good listings on the market right now for our investors, but we're hoping over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, we see a lot of really good investment properties come on the market. And as usual, at the beginning of a spring market, the early ones to come on are always the best deals that you can get.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to start to see them come on now, especially I know we're holding off till May 1st to list a few that are coming on. But the best thing about this, especially Tim picked up a townhouse, where was it? Acadia today?
Acadia, yeah.
Acadia for a young couple. And you know what? That one even went into competing offers. So there's certain segments you guys need to understand. The upper end is moving fast, and the townhouse market, it seems that way, that there's people out there that want to buy in that category. So certain segments are still strong, and pricing your property. So if you know anyone, and we were just talking to Danielle about this, if you know anyone wanting to sell, you have to get the price right or it's going to sit. And so being aggressive on the price would, hopefully get you either to multiple offers or sell at a good price. And there is confidence, Tim. We can feel it. There's buyers that are coming out now. It's not that, Tim, the war is going on and the tariffs and it did slow things down. We know that happens all the time, but all of a sudden in Calgary, there is some uptick.
Yeah, and people have to learn to live within what's going on around the world. And we're seeing that in Calgary. People are starting to notice that the market is positive and it's starting to tick over again. One of the things that we're looking at too is population growth. Population growth, the percentage of growth is down from last year, but we still have a positive number in Alberta and Calgary. The Conference Board of Canada predicts Alberta's population growth to be 1.5% and Calgary's 1.3% throughout 2026. We find that just from being out there with investors, with renters, with tenants, we find that those numbers are a bit low. We think that the immigration, both from other provinces and from abroad, are going to be higher than those 1 point something numbers in Alberta and Calgary. We figure it's going to be around 3-4%. So that's a very, very positive number for real estate investors because guess what? It translates into more tenants for your rental property.
Yeah, I mean, when there's newcomers, we have a property up in Citadel, and we were contacted by people in Cameroon that are flying here at the end of the month and want to secure a rental before they actually move here. So there's a whole process with that, not meeting people. We're on FaceTime and stuff like that, and they have a contact here that we met and vetted them. So and then they would guarantor them, and you could take a 3-6 month lease just to see how it all works out for everybody. But there's people moving here from places like Cameroon. That is amazing. And these people are highly skilled. They're in IT. Getting a job won't be a problem. And it's just interesting, Tim, as you said, when they move here, they can't buy. They can't, like I moved here from Australia. I couldn't buy for, I think, up to 2 years. So you have to establish your credit depending who you bank with in your country or where you're coming from. And then, for landlords out there, it's still in demand. There are pockets, though. The condo market, once again, has been flooded because of the MLI Select program. That market's going to be flooded. We don't even know for how long. Like and what that does, though, is it drives people from Toronto or Vancouver paying $2,600 in rent per month to come here for $1,900 for the same type of property. So that will continue with the population going forward.
Yeah, and the next thing we're going to look at is a couple of housing types, apartments, which is the condo market, and single family homes. And you can see the projection for condos in 2026, the volume is going to fall by 3.5% We actually think it's going to fall further than that. The condo market is in such doldrums right now. If you're looking to sell a condo, maybe you should hold off till
Yeah.
2027. If you're looking to buy one to live in, we think it's a great idea. But to buy one as a rental property, you need to be very, very, very selective on where you're going to buy that condo
Mhm.
because with the massive amount of supply that we have, not only from individual investors, but from the institutional investors that are putting up rental-only buildings, you have a lot of competition if
Mhm.
you're going to rent out an apartment.
Yeah, you really want to be, you know what? Calgary is establishing villages. Because I was up in West Springs, we're listing a townhouse up there. Tim, West Springs is going to be another village. And the villages, we've got Bridgeland, we've got Kensington, we've got Lower Mount Royal, which is really 17th Ave. You got Marda Loop. The,
University City, that's
yeah,
one.
and then you've got Inglewood, where the
Yeah.
kids like to be. So there's all these little villages that you got to keep an eye on, and that's where these people want to live. Like especially if they don't have kids, they can walk to the pub. They don't need a car. There's shopping, there's cafes, and they can use public transport. So it's very exciting if you are looking at a condo because prices have never been this cheap. But you got to be very, very do your due diligence on where you're buying for sure.
Yeah. The next segment is the detached housing market. This is standalone homes. They're actually predicting an increase. It might only be a very small increase of 0.1%. But if you look at last year, it was 0.8%. The year before, 2024, it was 10.8%.
Mhm.
We're seeing a larger increase. We believe there's going to be a larger increase than that, the 0.1% in 2026, because of the limited number of houses being built.
Mhm.
So you're going to see the market for detached homes spring up a little high. We're already seeing that already.
Yeah.
Everybody that we're putting into upgrades or doing the move up program, moving into a bigger home, we're running into competition, a lot of multiple offers in some of the nicer areas. So we're going to see the single family home, and this translates down into duplexes as well.
Yeah.
They're just a little bit behind that, but those two housing types, we're going to see large increases this year because of the limited supply, and there's a lot of demand for it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so that's our market report. We delved into a couple of things, the prices, the population, and then some housing types. But we're hoping that it gives you an overall understanding of where the Calgary market is going in the next couple of months. And we do these market updates every 2 weeks so that you guys are on top of what's happening in the Calgary market.
Exactly.